Hello Pokemon fans, Jaspy here. Today we're going to be talking about some takeaways, discussions we can do about Pokemon Generations, the YouTube series that, well, Pokemon released. So, there are some little issues that come up with this series, mainly the voice acting, the scripting, and the fact that it just seemed really underwritten for what they promised, but regardless of all the failings of the series, it did deliver some of the things that it promised us. First of all, they did deliver us some explanations for what's going on. Yes, there is a police force in Pokemon. We now know that, and it's a pretty awesome police force. I mean, Looker was probably the highlight of the entire series, and he just shows something that we've all been wondering about the Pokemon series, like, why is a 10-year-old the only one dealing with this? Why is it? The fact is, they aren't. We see that, well, the 10-year-old, quote-unquote, has been doing stuff. There are other people doing work. It's just the 10-year-old is the one who comes in as the unaccounted-for factor, because, well, the evil organizations plan to deal with the police. They plan to deal with all this other stuff. This rogue 10-year-old comes in, or 12-year-old, or whatever age you want to place the protagonist at, and they destroy things, and they just kind of get in the way, because it's like, oh, shoot, this is the adult world, as Giovanni says. We have the police, we have the various citizens to be concerned about, we have other adults to be concerned about. No one's concerned about the 10-year-old or the 12-year-old. 10 or 12-year-old comes in, boom, mayhem breaks loose because no one expects anything of them. And that's probably explains why all the evil villains treat you like a kid, because, newsflash, the protagonist is a kid. That explains some stuff, and then also we just get to see some stuff that we might have already known happened, like Blue beating the Elite Four. Things along those lines, or the fact that Giovanni did escape, and of course the fact that the International Police at some time would have been interested in questioning Giovanni's son at his disappearance. All those questions were answered. However, later in the series we started to get less and less answers, but there were still a few good answers we got. Like, one, it is confirmed that the world that, Cyrus was looking for was actually similar to the world that Giratina brought him to. Thus, Giratina, the Platinum Pokemon, instead of Dialga and Palkia, was the one who actually granted his wish, keeping with the kind of theme that was going on in those games, where he'd always harness another Pokemon. So in essence, he was actually using Dialga and Palkia not to create his wish, but however to summon the grantor of his wish. So therefore in Platinum, Cyrus actually won out in the end, which is actually kind of an interesting way, because we've never had the evil team, so to speak, win ever. They've always lost. But he got the world he desired, it just didn't happen to everything, but he did get the world without Spirit. And then as far as Lysander and the XY, that didn't really contribute much. Looking at that, it was, we did see some questions to how did he get something super shady to go past. So, like I said, some more practicalities in explaining how the Pokemon world, despite how we see it through, remember, you are seeing it through a 10-year-old's or a 12-year-old's eyes, which is why it seems childlike. But the fact is, Pokemon Generations gave us a more mature kind of view of the whole world, with the whole International Police and the more, a little bit more mature. And then also it got to see us how, yes, Team Aqua and Team Magna are mental. Their leaders are mentally unstable, and that's why they seem the craziest out of the bunch. And that's probably why there was no International Police presence in Hoenn, was because no one thought they could pull it off. A bunch of people are saying, we're gonna rise the gods and destroy the world. And everyone's like, yeah, go ahead with that. They do it, and everyone's like, oh, shoot. And that's when people scramble. And that all makes sense. Point is, Pokemon Generations shows it from a more mature standpoint that answers questions of that nature. So anyway, that's my final takeaway. You feel free to dispute that, but I didn't want to waste too much of your time, and also I have more research to do for other videos. So I will see you later. Draspy out.